to the first episode of season 2, man. I've been trying to get Jay Bucky on here for a minute, but joining us today is Jason Bucknor, Florida's own, Michigan's own. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. No complaints.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna dive into it all. I know Jason been busy with the clothing line. We're gonna talk about that a bit too towards the end, but it's good. It's good seeing you do something like that. You know, not many people can do that, man. So to dive in, we're gonna start from the beginning, man, from the very beginning of time. So to start us off, just give us a quick intro. Your name, where you're from, and when you started hooping, man.
Hooping.
Hooping, man. When you started hooping.
Well, my name is Jason Buckner. Um, I'm from Plantation, Florida, but I live now in Western Florida. Um, I play at University of Michigan, and I started pretty late. I started around like 10, 11, and yeah.
Quick rundown. So were you at Weston? You're at Weston your whole career?
No, I was at Sunrise first.
Okay. All right. That's calm. That's calm. So I know I've only known this because of your TikTok, man. So like, obviously, when you were younger, it was a bit challenging for you. But explain how you developed from how your youth developed, over the years.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, like I said, I started pretty late. Started around 10, 11 years old. Like considerably late in terms of like soccer and stuff. But yeah, I started off at Sunrise. Stayed there. I forgot how many years, but maybe like 2 or 3 years, something like that. And then I went over to Weston, and then from there it was kind of like ups and downs. I kind of came in on a high. I was with the U, I think U17 Academy playing 1 year up. Um, so it was really good for me. The first 8 games I was playing under Marcelo Neveled. He was the head coach, and I was starting every game, and it was kind of just like, I don't know how, to be honest. Like, I believed in myself, and I was a decent player, but it was just like, just like my first time playing academy, and I was starting all the games, and I was a year younger than everyone. So it was good. It was good. And then he left, and then he went to Orlando City, and then we got a new coach, Musa, and he just was not messing with me, and I kind of got benched for the rest of the season. Was playing about 0 to 5 minutes every game, and then from there, the next season, I went and played. I think I played that season. I played the next season. I played my age group. I think that's how it went. And then that season, in my opinion, I had a decent season. Wasn't too crazy. It was still kind of like adjusting after that adversity from the first season. And then I got an email saying, um, "You made the 2003 Academy." And I was like, "Cause I'm a '02."
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I called my coach right away, and I was like, "Yo, y'all like sent me the wrong email or something." He was like, nah, after like all the coaches were talking and the board was talking, like we think it's best. It's either because that was the year DA was allowing two of the year above to play with the year under.
Mm-hmm.
So it was me and my teammate Shuli that got selected to play with them, or I could have played for the pre academy. So after sitting on my parents, obviously I was super mad because I thought I had a pretty good season enough to play with the U17 Academy, I think it was at the time, or the U19. And I got put on I think it was what, like U15 or U16 Academy, something like that. And I was super mad, but at the same time, I was like, I don't want to play pre academy. I still want to go to showcases and stuff like that. So I ended up playing with them. Um, I think at one point of the season, I was captaining the side and I was at like 14, 15 goals with like 5 assists. And that's when they moved me up to the U19 academy.
You were playing winger. You were playing winger during your
Yeah,
academy days.
yeah, I was playing winger. And
Wow.
then from there, first game with the U19, it was to go into the playoffs. I scored in like we had like what? I think it was like we had a red card or two red cards, something like that. And we needed to win that game. And I scored the winning goal. And then we qualified for playoffs, whatever. And then we went to playoffs, but I was ill during the playoffs, so I couldn't really play much. I only played one game, but like it was still like not the best. And then
Yeah.
that year, after that year, that was kind of like where my stock like rose and stuff, and people were starting to like get familiar with my name and stuff. And I went to the O2 Academy, which was probably U19 at that time. That was my last year at Weston, or U17, something like that. And that was my age group, the 2002s. I was playing winger the first 5 games, but I was like one of those wingers that, yeah, he's good at dribbling, but he don't got the final product. And we were conceding like hell. We were just, it was not a good start to the season. So I told my coach, I was like, look, put me fullback, put me left back or right back. I'll play. I don't really care. And from there, I kind of just started playing. First game, I had Real Salt Lake come to watch me, and I was
Yeah.
dead scared because that was my first game switching to fullback,
Yeah.
and they wanted me as a winger, and I was like, damn. So it was against Boca. I played decent. Was it good enough to get scouted? No. So I lost that scout. Um, just because of like nerves, my first time playing that position, and God knows how long, and yeah, it just wasn't the best game for me. And then from there on, started training more by myself. After training, stuff like that, started getting familiar with the position. Started watching a lot of Jao Cancelo and Alphonso Davies at the time, even though they were like still on the rise. Those are like the two
Yeah.
I saw myself in. And I was like at that time, the modern fullback like era was kind of like evolving to like when
Yeah.
fullbacks started dribbling more, looking like wingers. So
Yeah.
that's what I was studying, and I kind of just realized like you could do what you were doing at winger, at fullback. It's the same thing, just further back. And if you lose the ball, you screwed. So
Yeah.
I just started really just playing with a little bit more confidence from my teammates giving me like the trust in me, giving me the ball, my coaches giving me trust, and that's where like my game really evolved, and that's when like people started to know who I was. That year is when I got all my colleges. My junior year, because we went to a showcase and then I balled out playing fullback. That was my first real like good run of games playing fullback, and that's where I got like from I think from that showcase. I think that one was what's that one that's close by that they used to do
Lakewood Ranch.
Lakewood Ranch. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was that one, and I think I maybe got like anywhere from 9 to 12 schools just from that showcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was good. I didn't let it get to my head though because I knew like you still not no one. Like
Yeah.
don't be acting like you all that now. So I kept grinding, whatever. End of the season, it was good. They told me like you could still stay here if you want, but that's when Inter opened up, and they were talking to me for a while, and it was kind of just a no brainer. It was like it's just going to a better team, maybe 30 minutes farther.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to go to the next level. So that was to me the next step, and went over there. Trials went well, made the team, and then our first thing was South Korea, a preseason tournament in South Korea, and that was all good. In the training, like going up to it, I was definitely like I solidified a starting spot. But when I got there, nerves got to me a little bit. New team, new teammates, stuff like that. So I was kind of in and out. Started maybe like 2 games, came off the bench like 2 times, but still made a good impression. Then we had the season. Played the season right back. Had a really good season. Mid season, they started building up the second team. which was at the time for Lauderdale like CF, and I started training a lot with like more with them and less with the academy. And then that's when they kind of got it going. And then I played the first season with them, stopped playing with the academy. Um, and that's where like my I just saw like my game kind of like going down and down because we had a lot of older guys, and it was kind of just like they were like kind of forgetting about the youngsters in a sense. Some were playing, but a lot weren't. A lot of the older guys were playing more minutes. So that first season, I was playing anywhere from not getting rostered to either 15 minutes when I did. So I think I still had a good chance to show myself, but it was just the lack of playing and the lack of confidence I had. I was not showing my real game. So I mean, it was pretty fair coaching in my opinion. Like sometimes I obviously as a player you think like, oh, like I could get more minutes. Come on, like put me in, like trust me, whatever. But
Mhm.
I don't know. It was definitely not my best showing. And then the second season, I was amped up. I was ready. I was like, this is the season. This season gonna offer me like first team contract and stuff like that. I'm showing. And then 5 weeks, 5 weeks before, or not 5 weeks. It was a week plus the 4 weeks of preseason. I missed. So I missed 5 weeks because of just
Mm.
like mental health. Like it was just
Yeah, yeah.
that's when I got like my first kind of experience of like really bad anxiety and just depression. And now that was like for me, it was like, damn, I just messed up my whole like opportunity. And I really did, to be honest. Because then it took me another like several weeks. I don't know how many. I would say like maybe 5 to 7 weeks to even just like show them like I'm still here. Like I'm still here. I was doing good in training. I came back healthy from my like little incident that happened, and I was doing well. And towards like the last 3 weeks, I was doing like really well. Like I was like, it was more just in my head. I was like, bro, I got nothing to lose. At that point, like I had committed to Michigan a year before, just as a plan B. So I was like, you know what? If it doesn't work here, it's gonna work in Michigan. So at that time, I kind of flipped the switch. Like I don't care. Like I don't care what people say. Like I'm gonna play my game. I'm gonna do my stuff. I'm gonna do my thing. And coach started noticing. Last 4 games actually. I started playing more the first 2 games. Came in because the right back got injured. Played really well against ATL. Went back home and we played ATL again. But at home, I started that game, but unfortunately, I had to come off. I think, right after halftime, because of like a little like contusion in my knee, and then I had my official visit, and then that's when they were like, "Well, do you still want to go?" Because I think they started seeing like I was really getting my groove back, and I was showing them like I was just dribbling out the back. I was just full of
Mhm.
confidence. And I was like, nah, like I think this is good for me. Like I need a new environment. I need a new everything, new team. I just needed a reset. First year in college, balled out, like showed people like that I was still like the quality player I was. Gained a lot of hype from agents, coaches, stuff like that. Um,
That first year, you had made freshman team, and you were top 100 as well, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that first year was huge.
yeah, that was huge for me. Obviously, like I'm always striving for more. So like, yeah, I look good in other people's eyes, but like for me personally, that's not what I wanted. I wanted more. Like I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot more. I wanted to get not on a freshman team. I wanted to get the first team in Big Ten. I want to get Big Ten Defender of the Year. I wanted everything, and I still want everything. So that year for me was like it was good. It wasn't good enough. Second, and then that's when I got my first real like long term injury. Um, I had to get surgery on my knee. They actually told me before the season they found out like you have a tear in your meniscus, so it's either you play the season on a bad knee and could potentially like worsen the injury, or you get oh no, and then get the surgery after the season, or you get the surgery now but miss most of the season. So any footballer's mind. If you give me the option to play, I'm gonna play. So played that season actually fully injured, and then after in the off season, got surgery on my knee. I was out for about 3 months. Came back within the first week. Came back for preseason for the next season. My knee was killing me. I was like, bro, I just done got surgery. Like, what's going on? Did my rehab. I was everything. So I was really confused. Told my trainer. He gave me the same thing. We took a bunch of tests again. Found out it was another tear. Could have been something with my patella and cartilage this time. So I was like, damn. But I'm not sitting out. So played again on the whole. Played again another season. Injured. Then I still had a pretty good season in my eyes. I didn't get the awards that I wanted or the trophies as a team that I really wanted to push for, but I saw my game elevate. And that's this. And then this past season, the one I'm talking about right now, I got a lot of new coaches, a lot of new agents, but they were better. And I could tell. And I was like, damn, like, it's good that like I'm kind of getting like that recognition and like I'm really getting seen for like my talent and stuff like that. But again, it just wasn't good enough. I wanted more goals. I wanted more assists. I wanted to take my team further into a tournament, like win the league. But unfortunately, that was actually our worst season as a team in Michigan history. We didn't make no NCAA. We didn't make the Big Ten tournament. We didn't. We came last in our league. So it was a pretty bad year for the team and myself, obviously, because obviously I want to do the best for the team and stuff, and I couldn't do that. Even though I had a pretty decent like individual year, to me it's just like if I'm just playing for myself, what does that mean? Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm trying to win the big trophies with the team and stuff like that. And yeah, I want to do the little individual accolades as well, but at the end of the day, you want trophies. I want a Big Ten trophy for the league. I want a Big Ten conference like tournament trophy. I want the NCAA trophy. I want everything. So for me, this year was not good enough again. Yeah, I got still got some traction and I still got some eyes looking at me now, but next year I'm really focusing on the real big things. But unfortunately, obviously I told you I had to get the surgery again, so I got surgery in January on my knee. And actually, before that surgery in December, I was cleared to return to play because after the season was done in October,
Mhm.
I got like shut down. They didn't want me to play no more, nothing like that. I was doing rehab. We tried to do the non-surgical route, and it was feeling good. They told me I could return to play, and December I was playing with you.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were
yeah.
playing ball, and I was telling you the whole time, like, "Yo,
Yeah,
Jerry, my hip is killing me,
yeah, man.
killing me,
You were. I
it's
remember.
killing me." And then I was like, yeah, this like something's wrong. Like I know something's wrong. And
Hmm.
at that time my knee wasn't the best either. It was a little bugging me as well. So at this time mentally I was like, there's no way. Like there's no way I'm gonna have to get both of these done. So took more tests and then had to get my knee surgery in January and that went well. Um but obviously that was just another injury I had to get over. Obviously, like dealing with injuries, especially when they're longer like that, is not that easy. But I got through it. And while the crazy thing is, while I was injured with my knee, we were doing tests on my hip. So I was crutching around doing more tests. And I think I'm no joke. Like I think I did at least 20 hospital visits for different tests within like 2 months.
Fuck.
So it was like I was just doing MRI on MRI, and then I had to do some MRI with contrast, this, that. I didn't even know what
Hmm.
these tests were. I didn't even know they existed. And then
The MRI with contrast, bro.
yeah, it wasn't
Bro,
fun.
I hate that, bro. I only had it once, but that's when they inject
Yeah,
the fucking
die.
fluid. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and I had to
Oh.
get I had to get that twice because they did it wrong the first time. So I had to do it again. And then I had so many visits because it was like, all right, this looking good right now. And then next week it was like, nah, it's like it's not feeling good. So I had to go back in. to get it checked out again, whatever, blah blah blah. And then after like maybe like alone on my hip, like 6 tests, they're like, yeah, you need surgery. And I was already scared, like so scared, because one of my teammates last year had to get that hip surgery. He was out for like 7 months. Then my
What? So, what? What did they say was like wrong with your hip?
so I had a torn labrum, and then I had some like extra bone on my hip that grew. So that was causing it every time I rotated to give me that sharp pain with the tear and the bone. And then each time
Oh,
it was
okay.
just like chipping against it, chipping against it, chipping against it, adding on new bone. So my and actually another teammate of mine got that same surgery a month before me. So I was like, damn, like it's not looking good. Like because I was talking to him personally, I was like, look, I'm experiencing all this, and that, and he was like, he was trying not to scare me, but he's like, yo, it sounds kind of similar. Like I want to be positive and tell you like you got it. Like nah, don't think the worst yet, because there's still non-surgical routes and stuff like that. And then that last test that I took, they were like, yeah, like you're gonna need the surgery. And at first, they were like, all we need to do is reshape the bone. You're gonna be good in 2 months. So I'm like, all right, good. I still got the summer to train with teams and play USL two and all that stuff. Then they took another test, and then they were like, yeah, you have a torn labrum. The torn labrum part is the part that's like for the one that takes a lot longer to heal. So
Yeah.
combined, now I'm out for 6 months starting in March, because I got it March 7th. So I'm actually, today's Tuesday?
Yeah. Today's
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Today was my 12-week mark, and I was supposed to start
Okay.
running today. And I'm supposed to be back in August 7th. That's
Okay.
6 months, whatever. And then I'll take a month to kind of like train hard again, get my fitness back and all that stuff, get match fit, and I'll be set for September. And then like 2 weeks ago, I had this like business thing with school, and it was a week long. It was like the whole day, so we are doing a bunch of walking. Mind you, I haven't done much walking like that in a minute.
Yeah.
I've been injured for so long now, and the week is done, and I'm like, yo, my knee is bugging me. Like my knee is bugging. Like it does not feel good. And it was both knees at this point, and I was like, because I was thinking through my head, I was like, I know what a torn meniscus feels like, and my right knee was swollen. It was clicking. So I was like, it literally just feels like my knees just swimming in fluid right now. So I told my PT person, and they were like, I mean, like, I wouldn't say that it'd be a bad idea to get the MRI. And that's when I was like, bro, you got to be kidding me. Like, there's no way. There's no way. And we took the MRI. Luckily, from the report, that was like 2 Fridays ago. We got the report. Nothing crazy, just some bone contusion, which is causing the liquid, which caused my knee to be a little swollen. But ever since that Friday, we've been doing a lot of like kind of strengthening and soft tissue treatment, and it was the swelling going down, everything feeling good, feeling good. And at 12 weeks from my hip, I'm allowed to start running. But went in today, my knee started hurting again. So I requested the imaging last week to give it to my surgeon to read, and luckily he just got there today, so he's gonna tell me, and then I'm probably gonna have to meet with an ortho to check out my knee now, because my knee is keeping me out from starting my running now for my hip. So it's like mentally going through all of this like adversity with injuries and stuff. Like for me, it's not personally. It was really hard in the beginning, but it kind of just like built up mental strength. And like, yeah, like I had a day where like I was really down bad with my knee and stuff, because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get back to playing. Like I haven't even jogged since like December. Last time I played with you, I haven't even jogged. So like it's hard kind of getting through and another injury, getting through another injury. So it's like setback after setback after setback. But it's like in my head, I'm just so focused on getting back that like this knee thing is not even phasing me, because it's like at the end of the day, like I'm gonna come back, whether like some teams or some coaches are doubting me now because of my like physical like health and stuff like that, whether I'll be fit for the game, like can I survive a whole season and stuff like that. Like I know I'm gonna make sure my body's good. Like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, If this team don't want me because of that reason now, like I'm gonna make sure these teams want me because I'm gonna show them, and I'm gonna make that team look stupid. So at the end of the day, like I'm so focused on getting back, and like nothing's just gonna stop me right now. I'm just getting healthy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's been like
Like for me,
my whole career has been like high, low, high, low, high, low. So it's like I really been at the highs and I really like experienced the lows, which like kind of like I said, like trained my mental to be a lot stronger than I think a lot of
yeah,
players, because a lot of players don't really get injured, and then once they get their first injury, it's like the end of the world to them.
yeah, exactly. I mean, bro, I know from an outside, from like an outside perspective, like a lot of people, when they see like other players getting injured, like it seems like they think it's easy. They're like, oh, he gets injured, he does the rehab, gets cleared, and then he's good to go. But a lot of people, I feel like they don't know like the mental aspect of it, obviously, because you have goals and dreams, and you feel like, I know me personally, when I go through an injury, I feel like I don't feel like I'm like getting worse as a player, but I also feel like people out there working when I could be working as well. You know what I mean? People out there getting better while I'm fucking. Well, it just feels like you're on the sideline. But during these times, what are things that really kept you positive, and what are things that really kept you motivated? Because I know not every day you're motivated. You feel me? Not every day you're like, I'm gonna be out there soon. So like, what on those bad days, what's pushing you?
I mean, yeah, like those bad days come and go, especially being in Michigan. When I had my knee injury in the cold, it's very dark most of the days. We barely get sun, so it's like obviously that whole season of depression comes in too. So it's like, yeah, it's not hard. I literally 2 weeks of my injury, I actually came to Florida, and my coaches allowed it. My teachers let me go completely virtual, and I just came here for 2 weeks. When I was cleared to start walking again, I went back. Um, yeah, it was hard, but I mean, at the end of the day, you just gotta like, I'm not I'm not broken for forever. Like I'm injured, but I'm gonna come back.
Yeah,
Some people, they get injured and they're done. Like they're completely done. So I got my one of my good boys. He came to FAU from France, and his dream was playing pro. He took his physical. He had a heart condition. He can't play no more. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
for me, it's always thinking about someone else right now has it worse than you. Yeah, that doesn't
yeah,
like take away from your situation right now. Like, yeah, you're gonna have hard times, but I always think like you're grateful right now that you could still come back at a certain time once you've recovered and play the sport you love again. Because some people, they kind of get that stripped from them because God has a different plan for them. But but yeah, like think having that mentality, and then also having like like my set vision on just like I've always like since I started playing, I wanted to go pro. Why am I gonna let an injury dictate whether I go pro or not? Obviously, whether it's career ending or not, but even if, I'm still gonna try like come back and then like if I can
yeah,
still go pro and play well. So at the end of the day, it's like I want to go pro, and like I'm set on that. Like I'm been set on that. So that like for me, it's like, yeah, the bad day comes, but like when you gotta snap out of it, you gotta snap out of it and be like, all right, come on, gotta get back to work. Like it's okay to, like feel that emotion and like go through it.
yeah, yeah,
But once you go through it, make sure you come out of it and start going again.
yes, sir. So in terms of like this season coming up, what would be your team goals, and then what would be some individual goals for yourself as well?
Yeah. I mean, for the team goals, like we basically, I think we got like 10 new players coming in because a lot of seniors graduated. We had a transfer. So yeah, we got a lot of new players coming in. It's exciting. some great players. We already have some great players on the team right now. The whole team dynamic and culture is changing, which I love, because I mean I'm not gonna shy away from it. Like it wasn't too good the first 2 years I was there, but now we got a lot of more focused people, more devoted people to the game. So I feel like this next season, like people are gonna stop counting us out. Like yeah, we already have a big name with the block M on our chest, being Michigan, but obviously our last 3 4 years has been kind of like a rebuild year because we lost all those big name players.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I saw it as an opportunity to like kind of go where it's not as easy, not going to like a Barca or something, not going to like a Syracuse or a Clemson or a Wake Forest. Go to like a
yeah.
rebuild year that is good and can be good, and it's kind of like an exciting project that you can be a part of, and that's why this year I really think we can push for almost everything. If we find our way early on, connecting because there's not a lot of new faces and stuff like that. If we find our way early on, connect the pieces, connect the dots, I think we could be a very, very, very dangerous team. And I think we can compete
Because I know
for all three.
I know Big Ten's a very competitive conference. I know that for
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
Cause I got a couple boys in that conference. He be playing shakes day in and day out over there, man. So he be talking a lot about it. But in terms of style of play and like just soccer wise, what has been the biggest difference, honestly, from academy and inter to the D1 level?
Well, I mean, in terms of like style of play, what I've seen across majority of the college teams, it's a lot of kickball rather than playing out the back and stuff like that. The game is a lot more physical, um, less technical, um, a little slower paced. At times, it can be very fast paced because it's just like launch and then you launch it again, launch it again. So it's like at times it could be fast paced and you got to be like alert. But I say the overall, it's a lot slower, a lot less technical, more physical. And then when I was back at Inter playing USL League One and Academy, I find it a lot more talented players in terms of their technique, a little bit less physical. But when I was in USL League One, it was pretty physical, and the style of play was a little similar. Like, it was a good amount of kickball, but there still was a good amount of like teams trying to play out the back, touching stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Especially with like me being on Inter and obviously, Fort Lauderdale CF at the time, and its affiliate was Inter. We were kind of like given like a plan to play like the first team, which was playing out the back, playing nice 1-2 touch, stuff like that. So I feel like that prepared me to go to D1 because it was kind of a drop in level.
And I was gonna say, so far, what has been your most memorable moment at Michigan?
Um, I'd say either my first goal last year against Indiana.
Evans back across through Harms. Bucknor! Oh my! Bucknor has shown so much promise, and he puts it in the back of the net. 1-0 Michigan.
Or our our quarterfinals Big Ten win at home because obviously first goal feeling, obviously a good feeling, um,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good goal as well, and then that win at home against who was it again? It was I can't remember the team's name, but it was a quarterfinals Big Ten tourney win. Like the crowd was just amazing. Like playing in front of the fans at home, like the whole environment was just it was just such a good feeling to play at. So yeah, those two for sure.
Yeah. So you know that I mean, obviously, but a lot of other people being, you have your platform on TikTok as well. I was gonna ask, how has that how has that not affected you, but how does, because I've seen you've gotten criticism during matches and stuff. How has that gone? Like what's going through your head during those moments?
I mean, at the end of the day, like they know who I am. I don't know who they are. So like, if they know who I am, I'm doing something right. At the end of
Yeah, yeah,
whether it's positive feedback, negative feedback, like hate is good because it means like if no one's hating on you, you're not like you feel me. Like something's wrong. So
something wrong for real. Yeah,
to me, it's like when a fan is heckling or like someone on the field is trying to get in my head and stuff like that. And I have anger issues. I'm dealing with it, and I've done a lot better
yeah,
in my last season. But I mean, I just do my best to not let it get to me. Um, I think at the start of the season, I was struggling with that. But towards the end, it was like no one could really phase me. It's like you could talk about my mom, you could talk about anything, as disrespectful as it was. I know to myself, they're trying to get that reaction out of me. So it's like, why give them that when I could just ignore them or laugh in their face or stuff like that? So it's like,
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the day, it's like nothing can really phase me right now because I'm so locked in.
Type. So, what is something? We're gonna wrap it up here, quick. But what is something on the field that you're working on, and then what is something off the field that you're working on?
Well, I'm definitely working on end product because I'm pretty.
Hmm.
It's pretty obvious. Like I'm good at dribbling and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like you could be as good as dribbling as you want. But if you're a defender that can't cross the ball well, or when he gets the chance to go at goal and not capitalize on his chance, that's where I'm not gonna make it. And I know I have a lot of room to improve on that. I know I have the ability to do it, but now it's like being consistent. So once I get back in the field, that's my main focus for next season, just end product. Do a little bit less of the flashy stuff and kind of just go more to goal. And then off the field, um, could definitely just work on my mental, really. I mean, I feel like everyone can. So I'm actually looking to a sports psychologist right now to kind of like train my mind, just like I train my body on the field.
Of
Um,
course,
but yeah, definitely excited to work with that sports psychologist.
of course. Now, let's see. I got a bunch here for you, but I'm not trying to ask you all of them. But so obviously you want to become a pro, but what's what's your end goal here? So in 2 years, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be?
Um, I mean, you could say where you want to be, but if I'm being
Hmm.
more realistic, I can see myself in the MLS, really starting to turn eyes and stuff like that. Because realistically, like if you ask someone and they a baller and they want to go pro, where you want to go? You want to go to the Prem, you want to go to the big league, stuff like that. But realistically, I need to prove myself first. Yeah, it would be a little bit
Right.
later in my years, but I'm a strong believer it's never too late to do what you want to do. Like there's a
Of course.
lot of examples like Robertson on Liverpool, Jamie Vardy. Like it's never too late for real. So even the Syracuse player from last year, that boy's in. He got signed with Leicester, went on loan in Belgium. He's making noise in Belgium. So
He's How old is he?
I think 21, 22.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
sometimes like seeing these young ballers go pro at like 16 and stuff like that. I mean, you don't really know like by the time they 20, like where are they? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, exactly.
there's pros and cons, and I feel like right now I'm just developing as a player, which will help me when I'm ready to go. But yeah, 2 years,
Of course,
definitely see myself pro.
of course. So in terms of that MLS vision, are you trying to take the MLS draft route? Like, is that something that's crossed your mind? Like, you're trying to get drafted?
Well, I mean, as of right now, Inter still has my rights, so I can't
Hmm.
be in the draft. But who knows? They could either
Yeah,
tell me like, look, we don't we don't see a future with you, so we're gonna give you your rights, and then I can go in the draft, or they can trade my rights to another team, and then I go homegrown there. So, I mean, I'm really just like if Inter don't want me, for me that's not the end of the world. Obviously, it'd be amazing to play for my hometown team, but at the end of the day, my vision is to go pro, and at the end,
yeah, yeah.
it's not my choice where I go pro. So
So now the brand, Jason started his own brand, y'all boys. So how how are you looking on the brand? First, what inspired you? What inspired you to start this up?
Well, I mean, for the people that know me, at least from the gram and on my like on some account that I have on TikTok, it's just kind of like a spam just to have fun, whatever. I do a lot of fashion stuff, and I just love fashion, like, and I just love experimenting on like any type of fashion, whether that's streetwear, where it's minimalistic, where it's tech wear, where it's anything. I just love it. So I kind of just thought like, because at the time I really didn't know what I wanted to do either, like outside of soccer, and I was like, well, I want to get incorporated with fashion with some way, and as I kind of just like started looking at more pieces and started getting like a little bit more creative mentally, I started kind of putting stuff together, and I was like, you know what, like it'd be cool to like have my own brand and like put like my vision into place and my ideas and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna learn. So a lot of people they kind of like they kind of but yeah, that's
No,
when I just really like kind of clicked in my head. I was like, why not like just try it out, see if you don't like it, then pick a different realistic like career route. But I started doing a lot of learning about marketing, started learning about graphic designing, started learning about photography, videography, and then I already kind of like knew how social media worked for like, so I was like, you know what, like I feel like this could like kind of work. So the past like 8 months, I've been just really learning, and then the past like 2 months, that's when I kind of put into place, started messaging some manufacturers, got some samples, trial and error, and then we got this bad boy right here now. So you feel what I'm saying?
you
And,
you feel me?
and my brand,
You feel me?
like a lot of people these days, like you're seeing like a lot of people wanting to start brands, and it's kind of like you're seeing the same thing over and
Yeah,
over, and it's like these brands are not going to have longevity. Whether they blow up right now, they're not going to stay in the long run. And like I wanted to do something, obviously I'm a big advocate for mental health, so I wanted to do something with mental health and fashion. So I kind of wanted to bridge those communities and also incorporate footballers with it, because as everyone knows, like footballers are starting to get flashy with it, and it's like I feel
yeah,
like
facts, facts.
edging it on like past basketball players now and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to like kind of burn the bridge for all of the, not burn it, but connect the bridges with all of the,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, like my brand's name is Blurred Vision. It kind of stands for people that kind of like having a hard time like seeing what their vision is right now, but through like community and a lot of people, like, yeah, you could take pills, you could do therapy, you could do this, you could do that, but a lot of people like feeling comfortable in clothing, and kind of like their clothing like kind of tells about their personality and stuff like that. And for me especially, I kind of hide in my clothing. My clothing makes me feel good, it calms my anxiety down, it makes me kind of confident, stuff like that. So I wanted to make a
yeah,
brand that kind of like involves cool creative pieces that make people confident, that could like lessen their anxiety or like build confidence and stuff like that, and just make kind of cool pieces, comfy pieces. Like I want to kind of explore the whole spectrum. I don't want to like just put my brand as a streetwear brand. I want my brand to evolve into like each kind of direction and stuff like that. And yeah, like the end goal for this brand is really to just make really nice pieces, and at the when my brand can get to that level, start donating to like a mental health charity.
okay, okay. Man, this man, J Bucky, man, entrepreneur, baller, fashion. What's going on? This man do it all.
Trying to be a jack
J Bucky do it all, man. Quit playing with my dog. Nah, but fuck, bro. I miss you for real though, man. We gotta link
uh,
up when I'm
oh, it's
fucking
all
out of
the way
here,
in
dude.
Australia now. Like, what's going on?
I know, bro. Shit's crazy.
I
Shit's
respect the
crazy.
grind though. Respect it.
Of course, bro. But man, oh man. So that's that. That's the brand for you, y'all boys. When's the official launch coming out for
June
that?
9th. Bulk order coming next week. Just in time.
June. Night. I'm gonna have to. You got a website and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah, yeah.
Like you all set up?
It's closed right now. And we go
Yeah,
on drop
type
day.
shit. That boy Jay Bucky. I'm about to. Might have to. You might see me with some blurred vision on. I be representing everyone's clothing, man. If y'all don't know who Stephen Lane
Even,
is,
yeah.
this this his stuff right here, bro. Y'all know what I'm dripped out in. There's about to be some blur vision gear next. You feel me? But I'll be supporting the game for sure, bro.
That's love.
It's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you for sharing your ideas, man. Sharing your career, sharing your life. This was a good chat for real. You know, I wish you the best in the future. Obviously, we'll keep in touch for sure. But it was a bless, bro. Thank you for taking time out your day, out your night actually. But thank you for joining, my
Nah, I
boy.
appreciate you for having me, gang.
Of course.